of Check That Post podcast. I'm your host, Jen.
Queen.
And these are my co-hosts.
And Christina.
I don't think I did that last time, did
Yeah.
A little rusty here. We took a little break, get over the holidays, but we're back and we hope y'all enjoy this episode. Tonight's episode, we'll be talking about the 10 reasons that women are of today are choosing to remain single. We got more reasons, but we're gonna give y'all 10.
Right.
Maybe a little bit more, but I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So we are doing something a little bit different this year. If you've been following us for a while, you know we'll go off strip because we don't adhere to anything. We just do our own thing. So
Go with the flow.
yes, that's right. Go with the flow. Hope you enjoy it.
Right.
So our first Dear Jen letter. Oh, and for y'all that don't listen to us too often, this podcast is about life, love, and relationships. Heavy on the relationships. Okay. Dear Jen, I myself do not honestly want to be single. However, I have made the conscious decision to remain celibate until marriage. Where my problem lies is while dating, we usually don't make it past a few months of them realizing that I'm not letting up on my celebrity. Celibacy. The thing about that is that I'm completely honest from the jump, and maybe it's a challenge for these men to see if I crack or not. But I'm holding firm and would drop anyone who's in the way of me and my journey. With emphasis, my journey. This is why I choose to be single, because it's hard to decipher when a man is just talking or when he actually means and stand on what he says in just a matter of few weeks or a few months. It's just a headache and a constant cycle, and I'm no longer desired to repeat it. Call me selfish, but I have no children and no baggage, so it's pretty peaceful over here, and this is how it will remain. Wow. Peace, ladies. Well, I guess I can understand that given today's trend or the way we see things going with men. It's not a pretty picture. And we ain't gonna get down on the men's, but we're gonna tell it like it is. We're gonna tell the truth. What we see from our point of view. If you got a point of view, feel free to make a comment and
share it.
we can talk about it.
Absolutely.
But from our point of view, and no, I'm not single. I'm married, happily.
Right.
But for those that are single, I can understand why they choosing to remain single or to be single.
Right.
A lot of times, the conversations that I'm having with women are they're in their grown woman space. They love being able to make their own decisions, not have to consult anybody.
Right. The freedom.
Yeah, the freedom to do whatever they choose to do, and not have to pick up after nobody or babysit nobody or. From what I understand, a lot of men are sassy, for the lack of other words. That's the word I get.
Yeah.
And it's matching her energy, so she feel like she's not getting enough attention from him because he all into himself.
Or not getting that masculinity.
Yeah, that manly attention. But you know how women like to feel that the man is in control, or not in a way that, you know, he's browbeating her or dominant over her, but in control in a sense where she feels safe and protected.
Like knows that he has it under control. You don't have to worry because he got it.
Right, and he's not gonna let anybody, he don't play about her, for the lack of other words. Like my husband, don't play by me, and I don't play by him.
Right.
That's what women want if they're gonna be in a relationship, and they feel like they're not getting that in today's society. A lot of times the man is more on the internet versus giving her attention. That's an issue. And we're not saying these issues can't be worked on or worked out, because they can.
Yeah.
But he got to want that.
Right.
You can't force him to do it. And ladies, my advice to you, if he paying more attention to himself or his phone or anything outside of focusing on you when y'all together and supposed to be together, then, and I'm not saying he can't watch TV, you know what I'm saying. If his tension is like ignoring you, you know, you got to break everything you say down, because first thing somebody gonna say is, mine ain't got to be
on you
zoomed
all
in
the
on
time.
you, right? That ain't what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, if you're feeling ignored, y'all know the feeling. Y'all know how you grown. You know what's up. And he's not giving you what you feel like you need, then you know you got to act accordingly, treat him accordingly.
Right.
You don't have to give all your attention to him, and he don't have to get all his attention to you. But when y'all are together and you're working on a situation together, then cater to each other.
Be intentional.
Be into each other. Focus on each other. Listen to each other.
Right.
Like, it ain't gonna hurt you to sit down for 5 minutes, talk to each other, cut the TV off, put the phones down, and focus on each other for 5 minutes. If a woman got something on her mind she need to say, listen to her for 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
That's all she asking. Just listen without interrupting.
Right.
Just listen, because she got something on her mind.
And don't think of it as nagging. Like,
right.
If you gonna have your chance to spew out whatever you want to do in your 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long y'all want to make it, and let her do hers. And then y'all figure out a solution if y'all want to. If y'all want to cover that the next day, do that. Like, just take it a step at a time.
Yeah, and every time a woman has something to say, it's not nagging.
Right.
You just need to listen.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you is too much for you and you can't listen, and the problem is yours, it's not hers.
Right, absolutely.
And if you in a relationship, it takes work. It ain't all peachy and cream. And both of y'all have to work at it if you want it. One person can't be doing all the work. It never works that way.
Right.
And, you know, I don't care what you're seeing on movies and TV shows. It ain't never like that. That's fairy tale.
Right.
It costs work.
Yes, it does.
And both of y'all have to put in the work. Both of y'all got to want to work.
Right.
So when you say I do, remember the testing starts then.
Exactly.
So that's just my point of view on that part. But I do understand when a woman says she'd rather remain single.
Right.
There's a lot going on out there. And
right.
These men are not being honest with themselves, you know, let alone with the other person.
Right.
You know, they want this and they want that. And they try to have that. And that's not good for nobody. So just a little bit of advice.
Right. Well, I commend you on your celibacy journey.
Yes.
Definitely a great choice. It will definitely eliminate some of the heartache and pain just by making that conscious decision right there in itself. So definitely commend you. I wouldn't tell you to do it any other way. As far as, you know, the dating, maybe switch up the type of guys that you are dating. Everybody that approaches you, you know, should not be privy to you. Like they, you know, just because somebody's attracted to you or just because somebody, you know, expresses that desire to get to know you, you know, does not mean that they are
good for you.
Right, exactly. So, for lack of better words. So, you know, you just gotta analyze analyze and realize, you know, who you are putting into your space, who you're bringing into your circle. If you already have that good feeling that this is gonna be the same like it's been before, it's following the same pattern, following the same steps, then you know, just reevaluate, you know, when you are setting or putting yourself out there. You know, don't just put yourself out there every time somebody's coming your way. That would be my advice. Just kind of switch up your circle, switch up, you know, the type of men that you are dating. Go to church. You know, you might find somebody that is on the same path and same journey as you are with your celibacy. You know, just switch it up. Try to switch something up. To try to, you know, just if you want to see something different happen, you have to switch something up.
Different.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
whatever it may be, figure out whatever that switch up needs to be, and just switch it up and see how that works for you.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with Christina 100%. Because you have to protect yourself, and a lot of the times, the men always know anyway whether or not they're gonna stick around.
Right.
And when you know you give it up, you know, a lot of times, you know, they get what they want and they go on about their business, and kind of leave you with the emotional baggage part of it. So you definitely want to protect yourself, and it's always good to, instead of rushing into a relationship, get to know that person well, and you both have that understanding that it's just not about having a sexual relationship.
Yes.
It's about getting to know that person, capture their minds, you know, how they think, you know, what kind of conversations that you can talk about, you know, and fall in love with the mind, you know, and focus on becoming close friends.
Right.
You know, not so much as, you know, I want to jump in the bedroom and counting days, or we've been together such an amount of days, and you know, you ain't giving it up.
Right.
No,
Don't
you just
put a
sit there.
timeline.
Don't put that time on there. You know, don't be rushing into that.
Right.
Get to know me, because at the end, you know, end of the relationship, you know whether you want really be with somebody or not. And see, with males, they move on, but the women hold so much of the emotional part. And I'm not saying that men don't have to deal with that either, but they deal with it, but it's more quicker, because a lot of women don't just jump out there and say, well, I'm gonna get this guy, and this one won't work, I'm gonna go get me another one. And it's not really that easy for us. But for you men it is. So be a little patient with the females, you know, let them know that you are interested and you care about starting a relationship, because there's so much, as Jennifer was saying, it's a lot to this thing. It's a lot of work, you know, and the work you put your time in, you can't get that time back, you know. So let's be safe. Let's be mature about the relationships that we're getting involved in, and let's just be 100 strong about, this is what I'm not gonna do, you know, or this is what I am gonna do, and you know, each of us have to respect each other's decision, because if you're not there right now, and somebody is pushing you to do what they want you to do, I think that's selfish. Respect that I'm not there yet.
I agree. I definitely agree. 100%. You also, what made me think about boundaries. You know, when you set those boundaries, just stand on them. You know, don't let nobody deter you or change your mind. You know, if you're dead set on your decision, just make sure you make it clear, because there's so much, or people allow it to be so much gray area. Just make it clear.
Yeah.
Say it and say it plain,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll understand.
Right.
You know, so if it comes back up again,
Mm-hmm.
just regurgitate, and it'll be like, oh, okay, you
Right.
you told me, I already know.
Right.
Like, it won't even be no issue then.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah.
Because we don't want you to be confused
Right.
about nothing.
And don't confuse them.
Mhm. Right.
Yeah, make it plain.
Right.
Mhm.
And I do commend you with all the temptations that is going on in the world for you to stand strong.
Right.
Yeah.
What
Absolutely.
you choose to do.
Definitely.
I highly
You go,
commend you.
girl.
Yes.
We need more women that's
Absolutely.
making that choice.
Right.
Mhm.
But a lot of women I talk about not having to have to deal with the drama and the toxicity of being in a relationship with somebody that basically expect you to be their maid.
Mm.
They don't want that.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of things, men, that y'all can do to make the situation better. If that's what you're looking for. If you ain't keep it moving, keep doing what you're doing, then you're
Right.
gonna keep getting the results you get.
Right.
But if you want different results or better results, listen up.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about a little bit about the statistics of marital status. In 2024, 34% of adults aged 15 and over have never been married. So, with that being said, there's still women out there that's looking to be married and looking to be in a relationship.
Right.
But we're talking to the ones that's choosing not to be and the reason that they're choosing not to be. If you know the reason, like I said, make a comment, let us know, and we'll talk about that. And in 2023, there was approximately 3.7 million single mothers in the United States compared to 1.6 million single fathers.
What the hell?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And as for home ownership, single women are increasingly becoming homeowners. Reports indicate that single women are outpacing single men in home ownership rates. So
that's definitely believable. I can
Yeah.
definitely believe that. I do feel like a lot of women now are just like, I don't
throwing
know.
their hands up. Like,
Yeah,
it ain't
for
worth
real.
it.
Like, you know what? I'm just finna go do this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I got this. Like, they just putting their hard hat on and like,
Yeah.
look, I'm finna do whatever I gotta do,
Yeah.
and I'm finna get this done. Like,
They putting on they steel toe boots and man, get out the way.
Right.
I'll handle it myself.
Mhm.
Because some men today are not stepping up and getting the job done. So you're leaving her no choice.
Yeah.
There are certain things that by a certain age women want.
Mm-hmm.
And if she feel like if she can't get it with you, then she gonna get it without you, which is the way it should be. Like she shouldn't fall down by the wayside because you ain't acting right.
Yeah.
You don't want to get right, and she get the right herself. And I don't think no women should let the fact that a man is not by her side stop her from going for her goals.
Right.
And she can do what she want to do.
Absolutely. If you want to follow your career, and finish it all the way through before you start dating, do that, girl. That's your prerogative. It can be a distraction.
It
So,
can be.
if you want to keep a straight and narrow, if that's the only way that you're gonna do that is to remain single, then do that. Do what you have to do for you.
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of women are prioritizing their independence. They're focusing on their career and personal goals. They're seeking financial independence. And a lot of women want that with a man. But again, if she don't feel like she can find the right one that want the same thing she wants, then she's going to try to get it by herself, which is what she should.
Yeah.
They're changing their views on marriage.
Yes.
Who can blame them with what's going on today? Half the time you don't know if a man is truly into the woman or truly into the man.
Right.
He's so into himself sometimes that it just makes you question, like, what we got going on here.
Right.
Like, if more men be more honest
Right.
and speak on what it is that they really want,
Right.
it make the job so much more easier for everybody.
It definitely would.
Instead of
Especially
being
the
having a sneaky link over
Right.
here, a sneaky link over
Right.
there,
Right.
And the
And then
married ones
try to mess up her
oh
life.
God, it's
Mhm.
just like
Yeah. Just
it's,
be
it's
honest.
people
Yeah.
not taking marriage as serious as they used to. It's like it's just like something to do now, and
Right.
people are forgetting the purpose and the reason of
Mhm.
people coming together and being a couple or a relationship in a
Mhm.
relationship.
Mhm.
You know, being that man and that wife. It's like the reasons are different now. It's
Yeah.
like the value is different. Like
Mhm.
people don't value it like they used to. It's just
Right.
like like I just want a ring, or I just want the wedding, or
Mhm.
you know, it's not really about what it's supposed to be about.
Supposed to be.
That
Yes.
unity, that real unity.
Mhm. Giving in to fleshly desires, just
Right.
lusting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people that often fall prey to other people that is leading them in those directions as well. And you know, we know that there's nothing wrong with being married, you know, and having that loving spouse, you know, if you're
Right.
a female, you know, that husband that's doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys coming together, making babies, you know, having a real family.
Right.
You know, all of that is so awesome. It was, you know, the original plan from the beginning.
Right.
But, you know, we have to stop with the lying to each other and stop making each other
Crazy.
you know, because you want to go on to get on with your freak on somewhere else.
Right.
You know, let's pull that stuff in line, because there's some real people out here with some real feelings.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, some of the reasons that men's behavior or social expectation may be influencing women to choose singlehood are the lack of emotional availability. Now that's a big one, because a lot of men just not present. They choosing not to be present.
Or
They're
they
present
turn,
over in somebody else's household or in somebody else's bed.
or turning to
Mentally,
the bottle, or you know,
That too.
drugs and stuff like that. You know, which is not good for anyone.
Right.
You know,
But here's the thing: when they're trying to get with each other, you got all that time to be present for that.
right.
You know, so you have to always stop and think about, what did you do to get that person? Was I a listening ear? You know, and sure you be, because you trying to win that person over.
Yeah.
You have to go back to what you used to do, because if it was okay for you to win the person over, what was really your motives from the beginning? If you was gonna just end up saying, well, I just, you know, want to have conversations with somebody else, that your conversations is boring. And if the conversation is boring, do some stuff to spice the conversation up. Have some real conversations, because there's so much to talk about. Not just, hey babe, how was work? How much money did you make? You know, are we going shopping? You gonna buy me a dress, shoes, boots, a pocketbook, whatever. This is what I want. I got these demands, and you got to keep them up for me. You know, it's more to it than that. You know, you know, and each of us have to look at what we are doing, what we want. You know, and put aside a lot of that. What I want is me, I. Put a lot of aside a lot of that, you know, and ask the person, what do you want to do? What would you like for me to do to help better your evening, your morning, or whatever? You know, don't just lay it out on the line of, it's all about me and what I want, because sometimes that can turn, whether you're a male or female, can turn you off. You know, and start doing things to help each other together. You did it before you got together.
Right.
You
Yeah.
stick it in there, couldn't even move, couldn't even clean the house without you touching on each other.
Right.
You know, and
Could
then
nobody
now,
get hold to you when they try to get hold
exactly,
to you.
Uh-huh.
Focus
know.
on that person.
Right.
And now you done got old to me because you done put on a little weight, you done got a little darker, maybe a little lighter or whatever. Now you ain't got time no more. No, you go back to that same thing. You know, if you was in love with their mind then, they still got the same mind. It probably done been enhanced a little bit more.
Right.
But they still got that mind. They still got fire down on the inside of, and they looking for a turn on.
Mm-hmm.
You know. But let's be intentional about
Right.
what we doing in these relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta keep dating. Don't stop dating. You
Right.
dated her to get her. Keep on
Right.
dating.
Yeah.
Keep on treating her nice. Keep opening doors for her.
Yeah,
Mhm.
treat her
Keep
like a lady.
surprising her with flowers.
Please.
Right.
Yes.
And it ain't got to be about money all the time.
Mhm.
You know,
Right.
she ain't asking you for no name brand purse every week or no
Mhm.
name brand shoes or no. She just wants your time and
It's
attention.
your
Right.
time.
What is that costing you?
Yeah.
Right.
Put in that work.
Mm-hmm. Especially
Hey,
if it's
it'll go
something
better
that
for
you
you
say
if you
want.
do.
Yeah. Right. It absolutely would.
Yes, sir. Another one is a failure to contribute to the household.
Mm-hmm.
You got her paying all the bills. You got her doing all the work. While you
Mhm.
sitting there playing on a video game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a
That's
no-no.
little boy stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Get your grown man on.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think they got a song out that talks of it's an old song talking about you let the woman take care of you. You know.
We ain't doing that in 2025, okay?
Mm.
Y'all got to do better, man.
Gotta do
Yeah.
better. Got to do better.
Yeah.
And then
It's a lot of that going on too.
Yes.
it is. Get up off your backside a little bit, you know, get out there and help her, you know,
Mhm.
because when she raised up a little bit, then things escalated to another area, and it shouldn't have to be because somebody got to do something. If she sit down and not go to work, then both of y'all will be sitting there. Somebody gotta have a roof over their head, you know.
Mhm.
So just don't let your tender young thing get out there and do all the work by
Right.
herself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Get out there and show, baby, we in this thing together.
Together,
You
right?
You know, we gonna make it happen. You know,
Mhm.
my feet hurting just like your feet hurting, and you taking care of the kids and getting them off to school. And even if your kids
Mhm.
is grown and out of the house, you know, you still can have that partnership where you going together doing things. You both working to get what you want. You're not trying to put no pressure on nobody.
Right.
Yes.
You know, you just trying to do life, you know,
Right.
and have the finer things in life. But you gonna have to get out there and do a little bit of working.
Mhm.
Yeah, and
You
keep
know?
other people out of your situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all take care of
Exactly.
each other. Y'all against the world.
Right.
Mhm.
That's how
Mhm.
you can make it.
That's
And
right.
both of y'all are taking care of everything. It ain't her job to do the dishes. It
Right.
ain't her job to wash the
Right.
clothes. It ain't her job to cook.
Mhm.
It's both of y'all's job.
It's
Right.
both of
Yeah.
y'all jobs.
It's a team.
You ain't her maid, she ain't your maid.
Right.
Mhm.
Both of y'all put in the work.
Mhm.
And when I say put in the work, it ain't just you go to work and she stay at home.
Mm-hmm.
Both of y'all put in the work. If you're able, if you're able-bodied.
Right.
If you're not, then you know you do what you do to make it work. There's
Right.
things you could do. Like if you can't work, and if you got to stay home and watch the kids, that's work too.
Mm-hmm. Wash
Just
them
do your
dishes.
part.
Right.
Cook
Don't
that
have him
meal.
going out
Right.
working all day long and coming
Mhm.
home to a dirty
Dirty
house.
Oh, I love work
No
from
food
home.
cooked.
They got
Yes.
a lot of work from home.
There's
jobs
lots of
right
things
now,
that you can do.
remotely.
Yes, it is.
Part time.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, these are just suggestions.
Yes.
That's all we can
Yes.
do if you
Mhm.
want to know how to make your situation better. Because a lot of y'all going through it.
Yeah.
And we don't want y'all to just remain single, just to be
Right.
remaining single when you know you want a relationship,
Right,
not
yeah.
a situationship. You want
Right.
a relationship.
Yeah, most
So,
women do.
yeah.
Most women do
Absolutely.
desire and want to be married or
Mhm.
want to have that significant other that they can count on, rely on, ain't gotta worry about if they got their back or not.
Right.
Yeah, but she
Mhm.
want the right deal. She
Right.
the real deal. She don't want the the fakeness.
Mm.
That's right.
She don't want the mask. She
No
want to
fake
be
love.
able to know you and you know her,
Mhm.
not know her and this one and that one and that
Right.
one.
Right.
Time out for all that.
Mm-hmm.
She want to know that she got a man,
Right.
all man, real man.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of reasons are fear
Strong
of
with
commitment,
muscles.
right?
Mhm.
There's a fear of commitment on both sides. We ain't gonna
Mhm.
just say that's on the men's side because today's women are afraid to commit because of what she see the men are doing.
Yeah. Or what's been done to her in the past.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we don't want y'all to give up on love
Right.
or having that
Please don't.
relationship.
Mhm.
We want
It's
y'all to
very
keep
well
trying.
possible.
Yes.
It's definitely, if you want it bad enough, it's gonna happen.
Right.
'Cause you can have it.
Right.
You can have it.
And learn to focus on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Get you right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and somebody will see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they'll be like, "That's the kind of person that I want." Somebody that's
Right.
already, got themselves together. You know,
Right.
they're not sitting around looking for somebody to just come in and just take care of them. Back in the day, we had a lot of that, but that's like way back in the day.
Way
But
back.
it's a lot
way
different.
back.
Mhm.
back.
But those women that were staying at home and looking for somebody to take care of, those women, they were a lot more faithful. You know, they was taking care of that home. And
Right.
I remember how my granddaddy and my grandmother was, together, and they stayed there for years together.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never known my grandmother to work. She was always at home, but she had that house clean
Mm-hmm.
and that food cooked.
Right.
Let's just be better about taking care of ourselves, and when that right person come along, you'll be right there, be in the right spot at the right time, and to keep down a lot of having to go through a whole bunch of people. You put that one on the altar to God, to send you the person, let you run into the person, that they're supposed to be your significant, other there. So,
right.
One that you gonna love and marry and all that kind of stuff, because they're out there. We just got to be in place, not getting in place,
right?
But we got to already be in place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And once you being transparent and honest about your intentions, that can take you a long way. She ain't got to worry about this and she ain't got to worry about that. Like, come on, y'all, do better.
Yeah.
It's time.
If you want better, you gotta do better.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Maybe women are choosing to remain single because they feel like they don't need a relationship to feel whole. And ain't nothing wrong with that.
No,
if that's the way you
don't.
feel.
That's right.
I don't think nobody feel like they got to have a relationship to feel whole. You need to feel whole within yourself.
Right. Yeah. Now some people do feel like that now. They probably wouldn't admit it, but I see people that, I feel like people like that are the people that are never like single. Like they're always just relationship back to back to back to back. As soon as you get out of a relationship, you jump right back into another relationship.
That ain't always good.
You're right back into another one.
When you taking time to heal.
Right.
When you taking time out for you.
Right.
Like you jump from one situation to situation to situation. That's a problem.
Right.
You might need to look deep, and then that's probably the reason because they don't want to look at themselves.
Right.
The key to that, get some help. Go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
Take a break.
Right.
Take time out for you. Get to know who you are.
Right.
How you gonna know who you are if you're so busy, too busy?
Right.
Like take time out for you. Then that way you know what you want, and you know too what you don't want.
Exactly.
So if it ain't working out because you've been jumping from this one to this one to this one to this one, that's a key sign.
Right.
Stop jumping.
Right.
Sit still for a minute.
Exactly. Be still.
Go work on you.
Right.
Give yourself
Get to know you.
grace.
Yep.
Because it's a lot of thing about myself that I found out. Just trying to know me. I heard what other people thought that you know, of me,
Right.
but just to know me
Yes.
and what I
Mhm.
like, what I want to do, what I don't want to put up with, where
Mhm.
I don't want to go.
Mhm.
You know, if I'm around the house, taking that time with just myself, and I say, oh well, you know, I like doing this, laying around,
Mhm.
sometime reading a good book. You know,
Mhm.
I pick up on the things that I really, really like to do. That's bringing me peace.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, I would never want to be in a relationship where there's a lot of chaos going
Right.
on and I'm
Mhm.
continually arguing and fussing.
Right.
Cause well, I ain't gonna fuss with myself, cause you know if I'm by myself, I ain't got nothing to fuss at.
Right.
But you know, but I
Uh-huh.
definitely don't want to be getting with nobody that's what our conversations is about. We're just
Mhm.
fussing and arguing about what now.
Right.
It's kind of like when my grandkids come over, and the house is all clean, and I would make them clean it back up just before they leave,
Mhm.
and I'll be like, look, before you got here, my
Mhm.
house was clean,
Right.
and when you leave here, it's gonna be clean.
Absolutely.
And so, if I wasn't arguing with myself, what makes you think I'm gonna be over here arguing with you?
Right.
You know, I want my
Mhm.
peace. I love my
Absolutely.
peace. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's one of the things I learned about myself after my first marriage. I realized that wasn't it. After having a child back to back to back for 3 years, I realized I want more than this. There's
Yes.
got to be more.
Gotta be more.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fact that it was an abusive relationship, both mentally and physically, I knew then that definitely ain't gonna happen again. I had to let that situation go and move on from there.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want better, do better.
Do better.
Learn, read. I learned that I love to read. Well, I already knew that. So, but you know, there's a lot of things you can learn about yourself if you take time to,
Right.
you know, put that space in there before
Right.
jumping into another relationship.
Absolutely.
You learn about what toxic is and what it's not. If you have in that situation, you learn that you don't want that. You want peace in your life. But it took me to, I guess in my late 40s to find that peace that I really wanted, where I had peace of mind and I was happy, you know, just doing me. I ain't have to worry about answering to dumb stuff, for the lack of better words, or stressing about dumb stuff. One of my relationships was very mentally abusive, and I wind up fighting myself to get out of that, to let that situation go. Now I know if anything's not working out for me, I'm quick to let it go. You know, I'm just not gonna deal with it because I don't have to.
Right.
I'm at the age now. Don't try me. I ain't gonna deal with it. I'm just not.
No.
Life is too short.
Right.
Yes,
I chose peace. So if a woman feel like she do bad by herself or do better by herself because she don't want the dumb stuff, then good for you, girl. All we're saying is don't give up
Yeah.
on having
That
something.
ain't the end all be
Right.
all. There's better.
Right.
You
Don't
know you
give
got
up
that piece.
having something that you can beautiful that you can have with
Right.
someone of the opposite sex and be happy.
Right.
You know, it don't have to be chaotic. It don't have to be toxic.
Right.
You can have something where you can be really happy and they happy as well because y'all doing it together
Right.
for the better of y'all, not just one person. So women, you know, you gotta do what's best for you. We ain't sitting over here trying to tell you what to do.
In your eyes.
Just be grown and do grown things. Like if it's a situation that's good for you, then go for it. If it ain't, let it go.
Yes.
If it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
It ain't worth your peace of mind.
Right.
There's a lot of things that we could say, but I don't feel like it's necessary. You know what you want, so go for what you know.
Right. And if it's one of the things is trying to, keep a clean house, why don't you guys practice and do it together?
Yes.
Get used to doing that, that helps out, a whole lot. You're doing it together, because it's fun for one thing, and if your desire is, if it's foreplay, it could be a thing of foreplay while you running around doing those dishes and cleaning up and around the house and stuff. Do stuff like that, yeah, and so
I mean, for me, like, it's just to know that, like, I'm doing something to, like, alleviate my partner, like, that excites me. I'm like, oh, can I help you? Like, let me do this, while you do that.
Right.
That way, cut down half the time, and, we get back to me. Not
Right.
I'm just playing.
I'm joking, but I'm for real. But no, yeah, just to know that, I'm doing something to help you or to alleviate whatever kind of stress, you might have going on, or it might not even be something stressful. It just might be something that's time consuming. And, I know that I can lend a helping hand and you'll be done like this. So, that excites me right there in itself. So I want my partner to be like that too. Like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? It gotta be, reciprocal.
Like, you got a couple young kids, when you take one, I'll take the other.
Right. Exactly.
It's working together.
Yeah.
Working together.
Absolutely.
I
And
know
that unity going on.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
I know my husband came home the other day and he took the tithe and I was off, so I was chilling all day. And I asked him, I was like, after he came in, greeted me and whatever, put down his work bag and keys and stuff, he went and sat down on the couch and I asked him, I was like, can I take your boots? Can I get you anything to drink? That's something I always do, and I always ask him about his day or whatever. And he was like, I got it, babe, I got it. So I proceeded to go to get him something to drink, and we went on with our conversation. But, that's not a chore for me.
Right, yeah.
It's just something that I do.
Right.
Because he been at work on his feet all day, so that's something I don't mind doing.
Right.
And he do the same for me. He asked me, do I want anything to drink? Or, well, I kick my shoes off the time I get in the house. So you don't have to ask me about that. But, we do for each other. We cater to each other. And men, if you want to know what you could do better, then cultivate emotional intelligence conversation.
Yeah.
If you feel like she can't hold the conversation, teach her.
Right.
I mean, you interested in her body.
Yeah.
Teach her something for her mind.
Right. Absolutely.
It ain't all got to be sexual.
Right.
Have sexual conversations. Focus on each other.
Right.
Share responsibilities. Be honest and transparent. Like, ain't nobody got time for lies.
Right.
Yeah.
Why lie when the truth will do?
Right.
Like, if you grown men don't, well, let me let me hold up. Real men gonna tell you the truth.
Right.
I was gonna say grown men don't lie, but that's no.
Right.
Real men gonna tell you the truth. They don't tell you what you want to hear. They're gonna tell you the truth. And even if they feel like it's gonna hurt your feelings, they're gonna ask you maybe, do you want the truth? Or do you want to, tell you some BS? And 9 times out of 10, if you're a real woman, you're gonna say, no, give it to me straight.
Right.
Tell me the truth. I don't want nobody lying to me.
Right.
For what?
But do what you do with that truth. Like,
yes.
Like,
It
make
might
your
hurt.
decision off of that truth.
Right.
Like,
It
you
might
can't
hurt.
just because he give you his truth, that don't mean it's okay. Because if you wasn't okay with whatever his truth is, then it don't mean you should be okay with it now, just because he came out with his truth. But just make sure you take that into consideration. Take all that in. Don't just take what he giving you.
And don't be so quick to respond. Take a breath. Take it in. It's gonna hit you.
Right.
Take it.
If you need a night or two to
Be like, I'll get back with you.
dwell or dwindle, do that, but do what you need to do.
Right.
And even though we talking about the men, listen to the women, y'all gotta listen to the men
Right,
too.
absolutely.
A lot of times they be telling y'all how they feel,
Right.
and you don't hear them, you don't listen,
Mhm.
you don't pay attention.
Yeah.
So you got to listen
Right.
and believe them when they say they don't want to do this no more.
Right.
And they don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't force them to do
No.
something that they don't want to do.
You definitely can't force them.
Absolutely.
They might stay there, physically, but
Yeah.
they're
They
on their
probably
way out.
still doing what they
Yeah.
want to do.
Uh-huh.
So-
They making some moves. They ain't just sitting there.
You gotta learn
while
to let
you
go.
hanging on.
Right. You gotta learn to let go.
Yeah.
You gotta see
Nothing
the
lasts
telltale
forever.
signs.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Don't
enjoy
ignore
it while
the
you're
red
there.
flags.
Yeah.
Please
Mhm.
don't ignore
Yes.
the red flags.
That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So, have those conversations, have those hard conversations.
Mhm.
Don't just brush stuff under the rug. 'Cause
Right.
that ain't gonna help nobody.
Right.
Mhm.
Because you're gonna have to deal with one way or the other.
Mhm.
You're gonna look up one day and poof,
Mhm.
gonna be
Yeah.
gone.
Right.
If you gotta cry while you doing it.
Mhm.
At least you, it will help you release some of that,
Right.
that stress until you figure out what is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
what's next?
we're not perfect. Neither one of us
Right.
is perfect. We trying, to have a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
But in the mix of that, there's so much that goes on throughout the day that we deal with, and so some of those days, you're gonna come home to each other or meet each other for lunch or whatever, and you done had a hard day, don't pick that be that time. Just know your mate that,
Yes.
that when they come home, you're not jumping on them.
Right.
Why this, why that, and when we gonna do this and that, pay attention to them,
Read the room.
Yes.
Right.
And you have to do stuff like that because you don't want to upset each other
Right.
even more, because women, a lot of times we could be so demanding. I want to answer right now. I want to know if you're going to do this or not. Stop being so demanding. It's not like it's just going like it's a life or death situation. It's just something that you want your spouse to do for you. Well, give them that time to be able to do it. Don't rush them. Don't always let it be about things that you want.
Right.
Because they are just materialists. And so just don't do that. Show him that you're more, or show her that you're more concerned about their well-being.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the children, if you have children,
Right.
you're just concerned about the whole family.
I agree.
Well, I think we covered pretty much.
Well, one last thing that I did think about, Margaret, while you were talking was standards. Maybe, some of our standards are just a little bit too high. That we're just looking for, the man to come already, perfect, or, already well put together, but we know we can't, it's not no Build-A-Bear, so, it's not gonna work like that, just like we have things as females that we have to work on. Sometimes it might take that significant other to make you realize that you need to work on something, so sometimes it takes other people to, before we can see ourselves sometimes. So
Yes.
when you are, considering these relationships and whatnot, just make sure, you gotta, we're all human, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect. So you're not gonna find, nobody that's gonna be T, all the way to the T, gonna check off every box on your list. Like, it's not gonna happen like that. And if you're looking for that, you're gonna remain single for forever.
Right.
So just to be open-minded and, just make sure if your standards is up here, just maybe knock off a couple of those boxes or something, just to kind of, because some of that stuff can be worked on, a lot of it, I'm sure, can be worked on. So, you might just have to teach your partner that this is something that I stand firm on. My man, I want my man to have this, and that, you know, and that could be his motivation to be like, okay, I know I gotta get this, and that before she gonna even allow me to be her man. So, you know, just make sure your standards aren't, you know, unattainable or very, very hard to reach.
I know when we was dating, my defense was way up there because
Mhm.
all the stuff I had done been through.
Mhm.
So I was hard to deal with.
Mhm.
But he let me know,
Yeah.
and I had to look at myself,
Right.
because sometimes a woman go through a lot of stuff and she just turn hard on the inside,
Mhm.
but she don't realize that she's putting all that hardness out there,
Mhm.
and underneath all that, she's still soft.
Right.
But some men just don't have the patience to break down
Right.
those walls and get to that. But if they see something real and it's something that deep down they really want, they're gonna put in that work to break those walls down to get to that softness that's underneath, and they're gonna understand because they get it. They, you know, she ain't new to this, and they not new to this, so they're gonna put in the work. But a lot of men of today don't feel like they got time for it, or they don't want to do it for whatever reason. And you know, if it don't go their way, they just throw in the towel and keep it moving. And some women the same. You know, men go through things too. But the problem with that is a man is a man, and women are strong. And not saying men are not strong, but women are, they internalize their feelings. Men used to, they more expressing it nowadays. That's where the word sassiness come in at. But it's okay for a man to say how he feels.
Right.
But delivery is everything.
Yeah.
It's a way to express that. Just like the women is expected to, you know, show or say how she feel in a way. Men are expected to show how they feel in a way. You know, you can't be louder than her. You screaming louder than she's screaming. Like, she gonna be looking at you side-eye.
Right.
So that's a way to do everything. But at the end of the day, you can be happy single or together. That's your choice.
Right.
But what we're saying is, women, don't give up on having a wholesome relationship.
Right.
Men, don't give up on having a wholesome woman. Like, just do your homework.
And do your part.
And do your part. Exactly. Because there are still good women out there. Our stomachs ain't flat, and we talk back.
Some of ours are.
Yes.
But yeah, some of us are.
Yeah, some of them.
But you know, if you're looking for, see, you talked about the women have their standards high. Where he got to have maybe 6 figures.
Yeah, now the men do too.
6 feet tall.
They do it too.
And money in the bank and house and 3 cars.
Yeah.
But the men got their standards too.
They
She got to
do.
have big booty and big boobs and beautiful face and long hair down.
See, they standards be different from ours, you know. They want physical, you know, like appearance type stuff. Like, we don't really be looking at
And then when they get it, then they talking trash about it and don't want it. So you got to
Ain't
choose.
good enough.
To be
Right.
And that's just like get a plate full of food and can't finish eating it because your eyes bigger than your stomach.
Couldn't handle it.
Right.
That's what it was. They couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's why they started talking.
So, you know, just make your choice wise.
Right.
At the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to be happy.
Right.
Because this world it ain't getting no better, y'all.
No.
So,
No. All things we
got a lot of things going on.
got.
Just be sure you're getting what you want to get.
Right.
You ain't getting 3 or 4 of the one thing that you want. It's a lot of that going around.
A whole lot.
But at the end of the day, we win wish y'all happiness, peace,
Yes.
joy,
Yeah.
love,
Mhm.
Relationships,
life.
marriages,
Mhm.
peace, happiness, all that.
Right. Health and wealth.
Right.
And
Yeah, because
all
health
the
is
good
the wealth.
Mm-hmm.
When you figure that out, yeah,
Yeah.
you got something.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, you matter.
Absolutely.
You matter.
All day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
We thank y'all for tuning in to Check That Post podcast. We're recording every Thursday at 7:30 or so. You can find us on YouTube, on all social platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Like, subscribe. If you want to write a Digital letter, you can write it to checkthatpostpod@gmail.com or text 866-311-2251.
Thank y'all.